All right, welcome to another episode of Burning Pile of Lumber starring Joey Lumberpile. And I'm Algorithmore, and today we're on Furious Resolve, and Joey Lumberpile is up against Bongdoll in the red Celestial. And let's see what this game will bring us here today. Of course, if you know Joey Lumberpile from the Discord, he is well known for his fun strategies, aka cheesy strategies. And he's trying to find his opponent. And you notice there was a strategic Skull of Shetta sent this direction. So, as is common with cheese, you usually want to find your opponent as soon as possible so you can start executing your cheese. And this is probably sufficient. Now, when you're looking for a celestial, you have to be very thorough because you should need to walk right to the mine to look for that collection array because you don't know if they've floated most of their base away and started building it in some weird part of the map, which is a common thing. But that is not the case. Now, what we can also deduce here is that Joey has figured out that he knows that he's cross-spawned from bongdoll, so he doesn't technically have to go scout in the final location unless what you're scouting for is to see what your opponent's strategy and opening is. And again, we see from bongdoll a pretty standard opening, which is to just expand and then follow that up with a creation chamber, and not going hyper greedy and going for an extra collection array and so on. It's a pretty standard opening. Meanwhile, we've got a brute helping out with the creeping here on these shadow mastiffs, which are a little bit harder after the recent buffs to creeps, meaning that that single brute is not going to really survive this, and so you're sort of just allowing it to turn into some fiends, which then are easier to micro and hopefully keep alive. They're easier to micro because they're faster, and because there's more of them. If there's just one brute, the shadow mastiffs are going to kind of focus it down. All right, so adding some prisms here. A single Argent has emerged for Bongdoll. And so far, it's been just Vault and Brutes out of Lumberpile. And I think we just transferred some imps over to Ethereum. 5 imps is actually a very strategic, although we see a sixth one being added here. With 5, because they sort of go in a single trip, that means you're getting about 25 per trip, and you can get to 104 trips. If you're trying to go for an upgrade, for instance, or going for tier 2. But just creeping some more to get some additional Luminite income. What do we see being added? Yeah, we see a couple conclaves being added. So while there was a brute opening, we have a switch to Ethereum minings to fund the gaunts, but I don't see any upgrades yet. So I don't know if this is going to be, this might just be kind of a tier 1 all-in play onto base. No upgrades look like coming yet, although we might just not have them. And we're still waiting for the conclaves to be up to see if a ritual chamber is added, because of course in the most recent patch in 0.1.1 we've now got a more speedier upgrade, and now we have some, ooh, there's a blast node there already, and these fiends get cleaned up very easily. Although bongdoll is sort of hanging back at home and being quite defensive with 2 blast nodes already. Yeah, as I mentioned, the plague axis is now actually faster to upgrade, but there is still no ritual chamber added, even though those are done. Now, I think what we saw there was Joey Lumberpile deciding, I'm not going to attack into 2 blast nodes. That's just a good way to sacrifice all your units, especially when they're mostly melee units, because now you have to run them all the way in there only to get blast noded. Cleaning up the vision camp, and the other one already having been added. And what do we have here? A morph core. maybe is about to get scouted by this fiend. Almost seems like that's what the, yeah, this looks like the intent here is to see, is there another base there? Although there is a morph core. Now the morph core is deciding I'm going to leave, and it looked like Joey saw it because Joey was trying to catch better vision of it. And again, I like this scouting skull sent over to see what kind of, what are you dealing with back home? Ooh, interesting. Bongdoll has switched quite heavily into Starforges, and we do see that's what Joey scouts, which means Joey's going to know what's coming. Now, there's a couple possibilities here, but a good one to predict might be Scythes. Scythes are a good sort of mid-game harass unit added, and then a late-game main army unit for Celestial versus Infernal. So Joey scouted that information, stole the health camp, but still is not moving in, but maybe is going to respond to that. What do we have back home? We've added more vaults. We do have that ritual chamber now. And we do have Twilight Spire with the second one being added. That says to me that some type of flying production is going to be added, although what we see being added right now are Shadow Flyers. We are obviously up at a Greater Shrine, but no Elder Shrine yet. And another shrine added here at the Double Therium. That's going to help fund whatever. Ooh. I think we see what the strategy is here. Mass skulls. Okay. Wow. Okay. And I have a feeling that Joey knows exactly how many skulls you need to kill a prism. And what do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe, or 7? Is that 7? 7. I think he probably knows that you need exactly 7. Uh-oh. I'm not sure why he's hesitating with them. Maybe he was counting. Okay, maybe he wasn't sure. Maybe he's doing an experiment. But at first, I like that. It still died. So a little secret for those of you who might run into Joey Lumberpile on the ladder. If you're being harassed like this, you should surge your collection array, because then you will heal your prisms. It certainly won't out DPS 7 Skulls of Shedda sent your way, but it does help you if you're being harassed by a small force. Okay, so now it's a ton of Shadow Flyers. Anticipating whatever's coming out of these Starforges, which are sides. Okay, yes. And it looks like it's just been expand, expand, expand for bongdoll, which is not a bad strategy if you're Celestial. A couple prism losses aren't that bad. Alright, so some harass, if you want to call it that, on this collection array. It looks like we got some impacts from the Shadow Fires on this. Ooh, there's some good impact. Now we have some dropships in here. I think they're here for, yeah, they're here for Shroud. And once there's Shroud, of course, you get that nice Shroud skin, white health boost. And when you put down your effigies, they're permanent. So that's permanent Shroud there now until that effigy's cleaned up. And, well, you know, let's check this out. The DPS here is 6, yeah. Not a really high DPS unit, and I know you want to smash that skull in there, but you cannot. Unfortunately, they do not. We have 2 dropships, oops, coming in here, and they just brought a bunch of brutes with them. We got brutes in the main, brutes in the main. Hey, but there's some sabers popping out just in time, and they're actually pretty good against brutes. And a scythe coming in to try and clean this up too, but power banks are going down. Couple brutes out. These brutes are coming up, and a bunch of Skull of Sheddas up there. What are those? Ooh, he just drops them right down on top of the sabers. I don't want to walk over there. I'm too lazy. I'm a brute after all. I'm just going to plop down right on top. Although it looks like the Harbinger went down. More Shadow Flyers coming in. More Skulls of Shedda. Ooh, and that Shadow Flyer, or that site's gone down. It's just a constant sea. Unfortunately, like I said, they can't hit buildings. So they're going. They're just sitting over here spamming skulls, taking out prisms. Meanwhile, there's brutes in the main base. And we're down to red power now. There's a couple Sovereign's Watch going down to try and clean this up. That's why we're in red power. A couple of power banks being summoned to try and get back up into reasonable levels. An Argent over here, unfortunately. I think the army is just scattered out of bongdoll, and we have... Oh no! We have some forces that just want to walk their way through. Oh, those Gaunts just got squishified. This is what I'm talking about. Oh, no, this poor force kind of just rallied in. I mean, their A moved in. I like how these brutes just said, not me, I'm out of here. I know where I'm going. I'm going to melt on this Sovereign's Watch up here. That's what I'm here. Meanwhile, still Skulls of Shedda. Oh my god, if you're bongdoll, you must be like, where are these skulls coming from? We've got almost all the power down. We're down to minus 18 power. Of course, we still have a collection array up here, which means that bongdoll's not completely dead, but this is right inside the production. And another saber popping out. Sabers are good DPS. And especially when you're lined up like this, they can hit a couple units at a time. But, oh, Skulls of Shedda coming down on the Saber. More power banks being summoned, trying to get back into green power. More Skulls of Shedda, taking out the Saber. This kind of looks like bongdoll is just slowly dying over here. And of course, I'm like, what's flying over here? More Skulls of Shedda. There's not much up here for this guy. Well, that looks like that was a... Let's call that a GG. A GG out of bongdoll at the end there. Well, that was a fun replay as well.